That was a creepy film. And I liked it. You know, it's actually kind of odd because of the handful of films from my list I have actually watched thus far, more of them have been horror films than not. Like, the first one from the list I got around to was Cabin in the Woods, which, well, I mean, as a horror film, it's atypical. It's very weird, but really cool. I'm not even sure if you would classify it as a horror film. Maybe a horror deconstruction. Like I said, it's weird. Oh, what a surprise. It's really weird, but really cool. I really enjoyed Cabin in the Woods. And then one other movie from my... You know, it's funny you should say that. I was actually thinking of expanding my borders very soon. Albert. Yeah, one of the other films from my to-do list that I watched was Edge of Tomorrow, which, interestingly enough, is... And you might not know it just watching it, but it's actually kind of a movie about gaming. I mean, not really. They don't bring video games into it, into the plotline at all, but the story is about a guy who, whenever he dies, is brought back in time to the beginning of his day and has to do the same day over and over again until he succeeds. You know, that's basically like something right out of a video game. You die, you respawn, you try again until you succeed. And I found it actually really pretty cool. And again, it's not really a game movie because they don't bring up anything about video games in the storyline at all, but you know, that was the basic idea they were trying to capture, and it's nice to see a good movie about video games because those aren't necessarily very common. Anyone who has seen that old live-action Super Mario Brothers movie knows exactly what I'm talking about. Shit. That movie was just... I mean, it was a really bad movie, and I have to be honest, I do kind of like watching bad movies, just because, you know, when they get particularly bad, it's like they're so bad, it's kind of awesome. I don't know if I'm explaining that right. But seriously, if you see the Super Mario Brothers movie, I'm not going to say don't watch it. I will say it's an incredibly bad movie, and if you want to see how bad it is, then watch it. They completely screw up the entire, Oh, shit. You're going to Edirne? I don't really like the idea of sending you back there, but we need the money. God, what is happening to our money right now? You know, we could actually get a new trade route. I'm thinking... You know, let's just sort it by the most lucrative. From Corinth to Brussels, no. Belgrade to Washington, already trading that. Belgrade to Athens? Okay, yeah, that seems like a good idea. They're certainly not dumb enough to challenge me anytime soon. Let's push that caravan to the top of the queue, get it pushed out as soon as possible, because, you know, we kind of really need the money. But yeah, I do kind of like to watch bad movies just because, well, I guess I kind of already said it. You're right, I should expand my borders. Unfortunately, you're in the way. We'll have to see what happens with that. Okay, I'll be the first to say it. Denouncing my friends, not a good idea. I mean, it'll give everyone else a bad opinion of them, but it also seems to be giving everybody else a bad opinion of me. But I was getting the feeling like I was going to be politically isolated anyways. I don't know. I don't think this invasion force is going to be strong enough. Not strong enough to take on... take on the Belgians. Which is definitely something I'd like to do. Yeah, I mean, with bad movies, it can be kind of fun just making fun of them. I mean, if you've ever watched something like, say, Mystery Science Theater 3000, you'd know what I mean by that. Look, I'm sorry, I've completely lost my train of thought with this whole discussion here. I think I kind of wanted to find some way to segue into bad games, which, come on. We've all played some bad games before. And to a large degree, you can also have a lot of entertainment making fun of them. I mean, just take a look at the Angry Video Game Nerd. Which is kind of ironic, considering my conversation, because he happened to make a bad movie. But a bad movie that I liked. I did actually enjoy the Angry Video Game Nerd movie. I can see why people might dislike it, but I personally liked it. Okay? So just shut up about it. I liked it. It was good for me. And shit, we are really running low on money. Not gonna last much longer like this. Luckily, we probably don't have to. Because once we start taking cities, the money's just gonna start rolling in. Okay, can we start constructing some siege equipment? Trebuchet, is that really the best we've got? Can you build anything that would produce money? No, but we can actually get the Oxford University. That's it. That will be a good thing to have. Shit. I guess just keep making soldiers. We'll be able to get some money back from them once... Okay, good. Trade route is done. But yeah, still oftentimes bad games can just kind of leave you feeling, you know, bad about them. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's still that enduring quality of using bad games or bad movies as a sort of source of entertainment by... Really? Tsarist Russia and the Soviet Union. Yeah, I know he's talking about Belgium. It's just weird to hear someone like that say that.
Ich sehe, ihr bewundert meinen neuen Damast. Soll keiner sagen, ich sei eine Ungerechte.
Do I have extra
Treffen wir
incense?
eine Abmachung.
I'm not going to get a very good deal for this. I'm well aware of that. So I think I will make that trade. Get a little extra money for it. We certainly could use the extra wealth. So, yeah, there is one game in particular, because you know how sometimes bad movies can be so bad that they're actually awesome? Which is kind of how I feel. Okay, I think that probably means we should expedite the process of this Belgian invasion. They've just invaded America. Okay, then. Yeah, there is one game in particular where it's a bad game, but it is completely awesome because of how bad it is. And I'm talking about Big Rigs Over the Road Racing. just... You know, I actually might want to, do an episode of Spotlight about that game. I don't know, it depends on how easy it is to get a hold of, but that game was just so crappy and so unfinished that it's mind-boggling and incredibly hilarious as well. So yeah, I think just continue building musketmen and Gatling guns until, yeah, whatever. So yeah, definitely, if you can get a hold of Big Rigs Over the Road Racing easily, I would say play it. You have not lived until you've played that game, or at least seen it. You know, you could watch the Angry Video Game Nerd episode of Big Rigs Over the Road Racing. Okay, so is now when we want to start the invasion? Well, we do have a lot of people stacked up at the borders, ready to pass into the realm of the Belgians. Let me just quickly check the time. Okay, so I've definitely been recording long enough, and I am running a bit low on disk space, so I shouldn't keep this going too long. I still have to record Beyond Earth tonight, so I should cut this off soon. But let's get this invasion started. America, we're coming to your help, whether you like it or not. Well, at least we'll finally get to meet these city-states. Oh, yeah, I do kind of think I can defeat you. Anyways, like I said, I should be cutting it off. This has been great. No, wait, no, I start with, I am Lord Revonworc. This has been great, and I will see you all later.